Meanwhile, let's talk about the attacks in two villages in central Mali, killing around 50 people, including members of pro-government self-defense forces and civilians. These attacks being the deadliest reported since the Al-Qaeda-linked group there teamed up with the rebel group, which is FLA, for a coordinated assault across the West African country in late April. Now, the fighting also continued intermittently since then. In fact, the assailants have struck two localities in the Mopti region. A resident reported that unidentified armed men had burst in, opening fire and ransacking the village. It was unclear how many of those killed were civilians. The Malian army commander, meanwhile, saying that insurgents were attempting to reorganize after the April 25 strikes, which killed the defense minister and drove Russian troops aligned with Mali's leaders from the strategic northern town of Kidal. In fact, he said the threat is still present, though the military is disrupting their maneuvers. Listen to this.
La situation sécuritaire actuelle.
The current security situation shows that the threat is still present, with attempts, of course, to reorganize terrorist groups. They are trying to reorganize themselves, however, under the vigilance, of course, of our soldiers who are determined on the ground. And also the aerial surveillance carried out by our drones and aircraft, as well as the strikes, are disrupting them in their maneuvers.
Et aussi, les surveillances aériennes effectuées.
JNIM last week announced it would attempt to impose a blockade on the capital. In fact, Maiga said the insurgents were focusing on the roads leading to paths disrupting travel to western Mali as well, but that other roads, including to Ségou in central Mali, were passable. In the north of Mali, where FLA fighters seized the town of Kidal and the strategic base of Tissalit, the military is repositioning certain units as part of its response.
Les terroristes avaient alerte actif.
More than 10,000 fighters have been mobilized, both from within the country and from abroad. We must carefully assess all possible strategies in order to save the lives of our men and subsequently regain control.
Les anciens combattants.
Meanwhile, on Wednesday, militants ambushed a convoy of trucks heading to Mali's located capital. The attackers opened fire at the convoy of trucks from Morocco carrying fruit. Video released by the militants showed stationary trucks and what appears to be armed men lighting a fire next to one of the vehicles. The government has not confirmed the ambush and no group immediately claimed responsibility for the attack. Since 2012, Mali has faced a deep security crisis, fueled in particular by violence from fighters affiliated with the Al-Qaeda and the Islamic State group, as well as local criminal gangs and pro-independence groups. The country has been under military rule since back-to-back coups in 2020.
To stay up to speed with the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.